Okay, so we're just going to do a quick lesson on solving equations graphically, numerically, and algebraically. Okay, so here's the first problem. We're just going to solve by factoring. Now keep in mind, in order to factor, you need to move everything over to the other side. So I'm going to have to add the 4x to both sides here. And I might as well subtract the 6 to both sides as well. Okay, if I do that, I'm left with x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0. Okay, you can easily factor that to be x minus 2, x plus 3 equals 0. Your solution here, x is equal to 2. Solution here, x is equal to negative 3. Okay, this next problem is asking us to find square roots. So what we actually want to do is we want to get this part alone. So we're just going to move everything over. So we're going to just subtract the 5 to both sides. So you're going to get 2 parentheses x minus 2 squared is equal to 7 divided by 2 both sides. I'm going to get x minus 2 squared is equal to 7 halves. Okay, so finding square roots, that's what we're going to do next. We're going to square root both sides. So you're going to get x minus 2 is equal to, don't forget there's a positive, negative square root of 7 halves. Okay, let's go up here. And then what you can do is just add 2 to both sides. So x is equal to 2 plus or minus. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this up. Radical 7 over radical 2. Just to remind myself to rationalize, I can't leave that radical on the bottom, so I have to multiply top and bottom. So your final answer will be x is equal to 2 plus or minus radical 14 all over 2. This next part says solve by completing the square. Okay, so just a reminder of what it means to complete the square. I got to move this over so that these two are alone. So I'm going to add the 1 to both sides. So 2x squared plus 8x is equal to 1. Next thing, I can't have a constant out in front, so I'm going to pull out the 2, which leaves me with an x squared plus 4x. Keep in mind, completing the square, I'm going to add something here, so I'll leave a space, equals 1 plus something here. How do we get this? Well, if you remember, you take the middle number, divide it by 2, and square it. Okay, so in this case, it's going to be plus 4. Now, you don't just put a plus 4 here, you have to remember to distribute the 2. So it's going to be a plus 8. So it's going to go 2, and the reason we do that is now this whole part here can be factored as x plus 2 squared equals, and then this part, if you work it out, 9. Okay? Then it just becomes a simple situation, dividing by 2. You're going to get x plus 2 squared is equal to 9 over 2. And then it's like the previous problem where you divide or you square root both sides. So you're going to get x plus 2. I'm going to skip some steps here. Is equal to plus or minus 3 radical 2 over 2. And then you subtract the 2 to both sides. So x equals negative 2 plus or minus 3 radical 2 over 2. Okay, the next part is asking to solve using quadratic equation. The only complicated part is going to be here. So everything else seems okay. So I'm going to just leave it as 2x squared minus 3 equals 5x minus, now I got to FOIL this out, so I'm going to get x squared plus x minus 2. Don't forget to distribute the negative. I got 2x squared minus 3 equals 5x minus x squared minus x plus 2. I got to move everything to the other side. So I'm going to move x squared to the other side. I'm going to move these two. If you combine those two, are 4x. So I'm going to move that to the other side. I'm going to move the 2 all in one shot. So I'm going to get 3x squared. I'm going to move the 4x over here, so it's going to go minus 4x. And move the 2 over, so it's going to go minus 5 is equal to 0. Keep in mind what the quadratic equation is. It's x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So all we have to do is plug those things in. Okay, let me just make sure that this is separate. So x is going to be equal to negative b is negative 4, which is 4, plus or minus the square root of b squared is 16, minus 4 times a, which is 3. So 4 times 3 is 12 times negative 5 gives me 60 all divided by 2a, which is 6, and you can simplify that on your own. Okay? Your job is to solve these problems on your own, bring them to class ready to go, and first one solved by completing the square, next one completing the square and check it using quadratic, and the last one using square roots.